one can't say. I'm looking at footage of this person, I'm allowed to say, well, I'm not allowed to say anything, kicking a policeman 6 times in the head. Can you explain me, as the country's leading KC, how in the name of God I can put faith in a system where more than, well, out of 12 people, at least 2 thought that that guy should get off? I don't understand it.
Well, last time I appeared on your programme, you actually weren't doing the interviewing, but I came on in order to strongly defend the jury system, which is...
In this video, we are looking at a total collapse of common sense in the UK justice system. You likely saw the viral video of police officers being brutally attacked at Manchester Airport, yet despite the footage, the attackers walked free. To understand why the public has completely lost faith in our institutions, we have to look at the massive divide between working class reality and the elite legal bubble. First, let's look at the absolute absurdity of the verdict, before we see exactly how the legal establishment tries to gaslight the public about it.
Caused outrage, and then half an hour later the real footage emerged. These 2 face trial for grievous bodily harm against that police officer, who's still suspended, by the way. I don't know, you'll have to fill me in why the first 2 trials I know that you only need 2 people to disagree on a trial benefit, and I'll let people make up their own minds on that. This is an absolutely disgraceful miscarriage of justice, isn't it?
Well, let's remember, Jeremy, it was actually on your show one afternoon at 4 o'clock when I said something odd has gone on here, because I saw the 2 tasers that were out, and I got lampooned by everybody for 3 days until the true footage emerged, because I actually stood up for the police officers, and I was proven 110% right. And the video you've just shown shows Mohammed Ahmad punching PC Marsden at least 6 times, what looks like in a very hard, aggressive way. And unbelievably, the jury have concluded that that wasn't an assault on police officer. I mean, it absolutely beggars belief. It really does. It's crystal clear. And, you know, I'm absolutely fuming. I really am. I mean, it's just beggars belief.
And I presume, and again, we have to be careful, that the, how do I put this? That certain people on the jury have decided that he's innocent irrespective of the facts.
Well, I'm assuming the jury were shown the video that you are now playing.
How can you not find him guilty? It's an absolute disgrace.
That guy, he's literally punched PC Marsden at least 6 times.
Dreadful.
And the idea that that is not an assault on a police officer is completely absurd. And it does, you know, it's tragic to say, because, you know, we trust and rely on our jury system. And
it's not just the public who was stunned by this. When the justice system refuses to punish violent assaults caught on camera, it completely undermines the people tasked with keeping our streets safe. Listen to former police officer Peter Blexley explain how these perverse verdicts actually happen and what they do to police morale.
The taser would be used unless something else had happened, and he was literally vilified. And then 3 days later, other footage came out of them viciously attacking and breaking the nose of that female constable. Can you explain to me, right, from a police perspective, how the hell that makes your comrades feel that you can be attacked and the justice system can defend these 2 criminals who walked out of court the other day with a spring in his step and a smile on his face?
I was involved in cases, albeit many years ago, when verdicts would be returned that we thought were simply perverse. They were sometimes absolutely baffling in the wake of a huge body of evidence, which we thought was overwhelming, conclusive, beyond debate. Sometimes perverse verdicts were returned. It's very difficult as a police officer, and for you and for your team, but you know what? You're a public servant. You have to pick yourself up again, dust yourself down, get that uniform on, get out onto the streets, protect and serve the people. Move on, go and find some more wrong uns.
I accept that, but there's a bigger issue here. Does this not set a precedent, Pete?
No, it doesn't. There will always be perverse verdicts as long as you have a jury system, although we need to remind ourselves that this appalling government is seeking to abolish jury trials for so many people. I would still rather, should I be accused by the state of a serious crime, be tried by 12 of my peers than an executive judge sitting on his own or a panel of judges.
Okay, well, talking to being as careful as I can be, what happens if members of the jury, wherever, I mean, listen, strangely enough, I've been called up for jury service later in the year. What if a member of the jury has a view which goes against facts? Does that not rather negate the justice? And by the way, I'm not a fan of Lammies at all and any left-wing judges, but as Richard Ty said earlier, it's there for all to see. The bloke right now is smashing PC Marsden in the face 6 times. There is no way on God's earth that's a miscarriage of justice, Pete.
I came out of the Inner London Crown Court one day with not guilty verdicts having been returned against 3 defendants. I'd spent weeks.
So the public is outraged and the police are demoralised. The facts of the case are undeniable, but how does the legal establishment react? Watch elite barrister Michael Mansfield KC actually defend this broken system, lecturing the public and telling you to ignore the video evidence.
Say, I'm looking at footage of this person, I'm allowed to say, well, I'm not allowed to say anything, kicking a policeman 6 times in the head. Can you explain me, as the country's leading KC, how in the name of God I can put faith in a system where more than, well, out of 12 people, at least 2 thought that guy should get off? I don't understand it.
Well, last time I appeared on your programme, you actually weren't doing the interviewing, but I came on in order to strongly defend the jury system, which is under attack from this government, and I'm horrified by the attack. 50% are going to be cut. And the reason why I support jury system is that we have had it in place for hundreds of years because it is the one institution, independent of this program, independent of the police, independent of government, that passes judgment on a set of facts put before it. And it's not just a clip of film, it's much more than that, plainly. Now, one has to pause for a minute here. This is 2 juries, that's 24 citizens, over a period of 30 hours. 10 hours in the first jury, 20 hours in the second jury. There have been convictions, don't forget. Mm-hmm. One of them has been convicted already of the assaults on the 2 female police officers.
Let me just give the facts there. Mohammed Fahir Amaz has been in custody since last year after he was convicted at the first trial of assaulting 2 female officers and a member of the public. Absolutely.
Yes. And so that system, I place faith in. I mean, I've spent a whole career addressing juries because they're the one institution that have the time and have the trial took 5 weeks. And I think you cannot, and may I say, I'm not saying you particularly, but the media have a responsibility here to ensure that the full story is told, not one from a clip. And this is a very fine example, this case, it seems to me, that first a clip's put out there that's plainly out of context. And there's much more to it than that.
Notice what happens here. He is demanding that we ignore the very video footage the entire country saw with their own eyes. It's the ultimate elite deflection. Don't look at the brutal reality faced by public servants. Just respect a flawed legal process. But the host refuses to let him off the hook, pressing him on how a violent attacker can walk out of court with a massive smile on his face.
On television is seen kicking a policeman and punching him 6 times in the head, right, irrespective of what you said, is then walking out of a court with his solicitor with a bloody great smile on his face.
Well, again, I don't make judgments about what people do outside court, particularly politicians, who one of them was reported by the judge to the Attorney General for comments that they made. Yeah. So I'm not going to judge, a defendant or anybody else, a police officer who smiles as being the be-all and end-all. Yeah. But can I just add this footnote? It's very important to remember that, in fact, there's much more to this case that has yet to come out. The Independent Office of the Police Conduct is examining this case and said, I think within the last few days, that their final report on the case as a whole, police protocols and so on, and discipline, is going to be produced very shortly, I think within the next week or so. I think that is going to be of importance in terms of casting yet another dimension on everything that's happened.
That is the sound of an institutional bubble that holds the public in total contempt. We have working class police officers getting violently assaulted on duty, and when the system completely fails to protect them, elite lawyers appear on television to lecture us about legal protocols. They expect you to ignore the video, ignore the smiling attackers walking out of court, and accept that the establishment knows best. It perfectly exposes a justice system that no longer delivers justice, and a legal elite that feels completely unaccountable to the society it's supposed to serve.